live now.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to I think this is the seventh episode of Sword Brothers, seventh session, rather. I'm probably wrong, though.
You're
Um,
right.
oh, okay. And just to recap last session, correct me if I get anything wrong. Um, our heroes finally made their way um, to Miklegard and disembarked from their ship after a month and a day of sailing, and got to meet some of their soon-to-be comrades who actually pulled some practical jokes on Petronius. And they had quite the time with that. And our heroes ended up staying the night at a hostel. So when we, so as we begin this session, it is Glitnir the Sixth morning. It is a very sorry, lost my train of thought. It's a nice day, clear sky and all that, cool breeze and a pretty good temperature. This is, I believe, like midsummer by now. Yeah, and the months are called something different here, but you wouldn't really know that yet. What's everyone want to do on this fine morning?
Um, I'm gonna say Petronius, when he got his room at the hostel, he probably like got some water and like soaked his soiled clothes in them and just kind of let them out to dry overnight. So he's probably just gonna get his clothes on and wisely water down his wine as he begins his day drinking for the day.
And how about, let's say, Odricles?
He will, trying to stay on task, he's going to wait until everyone else is ready and then let them know, if I remember correctly, that that man we're looking for is in the marketplace, if I'm not mistaken. Or
Yep.
that's where he frequents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll just wait till they're all good to go and we can get into that business.
And how about Anso?
I think Anzo's probably woken up early, just being in a new place, and he's probably just gotten his things together and grabbed an early breakfast, and probably is doing the same as Adrocles, just kind of getting ready and ready to take on a day early.
All right. So it sounds like Odricles and Anso both want to go to try to track down Hroth Khalidson. Am I correct in that?
Yes, sir.
And if I were to guess, Petronius probably goes with them.
Yeah, he's going with his group because he's in a strange land. He knows basically nobody but these three or four guys, assuming at Vornir's with us, like as an NPC.
Yeah, we'll say Vornir is an NPC. You've also got Ilgar and Zakonis, who offer to help you look. So, as you guys head down to the market area, well, actually, before you can even do that, how are you going to determine where that is? Are you going to ask for directions, or try to get a map, or just kind of eyeball it?
I think I was able to locate it last time, but I could be wrong.
That's right, yeah. Um, Are you guys going to split up once you get there, or all together?
I think we ought to stay together.
Yeah, I vote that we stay together as well.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
So, as you make your way into the market, your senses are assaulted by 1,000 different voices saying many different things. There's hawkers hawking their poor quality goods. There's respectable and honest merchants selling very high quality things, some of which you don't even know what they are. And there's bodyguards of those respectable merchants leering at you, seeing that you guys are obviously mercenaries, who, from their bearing, have probably arrived recently. Now, I'm going to have everyone check perception for me.
That's a 6 for Petronius.
Same Craig, please.
Ooh, that's a natural one for Anzo.
Wow.
Okay. You guys do not see a certain thing that you were otherwise probably going to see, but because of that natural one, so I was going to roll a d20 to determine the difficulty of your next check, but because it was because you guys had a natural 1 and 2 6s, I'm just going to say it's 20. So I would like, I imagine it's probably Audricles has the highest tracking.
Yes.
Roll tracking. And do you have any modifiers to add to it?
Yeah, I have +2.
All right.
So that's 12 total.
All right. So you spend about an hour looking, and well, actually, tell me. I'll give you a modifier based on your answer to this question. Tell me, like, what you were looking for. Not like, I know you're looking for Hroth, but how are you going to identify this guy who you've never seen before?
Could you remind me what his father, Khalid, looked like? Or, not Khalid. I can't remember his name.
It was Khalid.
Oh, Khalid, okay. That his father looked like. So what did he look like?
Sort of like a mix between, okay, I'm not going to say a mix between and then like, whatever. So he's a lesser man with, quite a bit of paunch, a long graying beard, and very sharp eyes, green eyes.
All right.
Did you guys happen to ask Khalid for a description of Proth or anything that you might be able to identify him by?
Not that I remember.
I suppose you weren't even there yet.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
I feel like we vaguely that we had, but again, I can't confirm 100%.
It would have made sense for him to tell you, to be honest. So, he tells you Hroth is a lesser man like himself, and is shorter than him, but has blonde hair. So because you know that, I'm going to give you, I'm going to let you roll that again.
All right. Total of 20.
You were able to find someone who seems to match this description. By the way, make sure you're marking XP for these checks.
Yep.
All right. So you find this guy. Who approaches him?
Maybe someone who's a little more familiar with the objective.
I guess I will. Why not? I'll just go up and say, "Hello, are you Khalid's son? We have a message for him."
I do happen to be him. What is it? Or is it a sealed letter?
Yeah, I believe it was a sealed letter, so I'll like pull that out and just hand it to him. Just now that I've confirmed that it is him, I just didn't want to like have some random letter and just just in case someone was thinking there might be like currency or something in it.
Yeah. He checks the seal to make sure it's not broken. None of you chose to look inside of there, so it is not broken. And he opens it up. And you hear the clink of coins. There's... Oh, I should mention, so this envelope, it's not really an envelope. I don't think I ever said that word, but it sort of looks like one. It's made out of leather. There's coins clinking. There's parchment in there with all kinds of runes on it. And he looks it over for a little bit. He seems to be satisfied. He takes some of the money out of there and hands you each 5 ounces of gold. They are all printed with... and when I say you each, that includes... oh man, I'm blanking on the name. Lubin's character. Vornir. That includes Vornir, Zakonis, and Ilgar. These coins are all stamped with the imperial regalia of the Mikhailan Empire, and they're very official looking. You've never seen something quite like this, because in Thule, coins are just weight measures. There's no one issuing currency. So he thanks you and asks, "Is there anything I can do for you while you were here?"
Is there anywhere we needed to go? I think, just out of curiosity, guys. I don't think there was, so I'm just gonna say no. But is there somewhere we can find you in case we needed to talk to you later?
Of course. And then he babbles out some directions to get to his place of residence, and he describes it as a villa in a sort of Thulean style, with servants attending to it 24 hours a day.
All right, thank you. Is there anything that we can do else for you?
Well, seeing as you're clearly on your way to becoming Varangians, if you haven't already, try not to get killed. War is always brewing, and we need able fighting men such as yourselves.
We will do our best. Thank you.
So he goes back to, so he's behind like this trade stall with a number of his employees. He hands some ledgers, or what looks like ledgers, to one of them, and then he walks away.
that's in character from Petronius.
Ilgar pipes up a little bit. Well, unless you sailed for a month and a day just to putter around in a big city, I imagine you'll want to go to the Imperial Palace to go get recruited.
All right. And where is that, by chance, if you would know?
He sort of turns a little bit and then points up and to the side, and you kind of notice, the palace complex that dominates the entire city sits on a hill, and he kind of gives you like a duh, and Zakonis stifles laughter, and then Ilgar smacks Zakonis, and yeah.
I see. Well, let's get a move on. He just takes another drink of his watered down wine.
It's good stuff now that you've learned to actually water it down rather than drinking it straight. Does anyone else want to do anything does anyone want to do anything else in the city? Like sell anything, buy anything? This is quite possibly the biggest city in the world. Certainly the biggest one you've ever seen.
I think Adricles would like to stock back up on arrows. He just needs 5.
All right. You're able to find, just on your way, you're able to find someone selling arrows fletched with painted, well, not painted, but dyed feathers. They look very nice and distinctive.
Other than that, I am all set.
All right. As you guys make your way towards the palace complex, it seems to grow. Well, all things seem to grow larger as you get closer to them, but this is just on a whole nother level. It's massive. It is a city within a city. As you approach the front gate, a soldier hails you in a language you don't understand. What do you do?
I forget. Does anybody like in our group know the local language?
I don't think so.
He sees you guys who are clearly foreigners talking amongst one another and calls out to someone on the other side of the gate. Within a matter of about 30 seconds, there's someone on the ground approaching you guys, appearing to be Thulan, and you happen to recognize him as the guy who came up with the idea of putting Petronius' hand in the warm bowl of water.
Petronius kind of scowls at the guy.
He smirks and keeps approaching and extends his hand for you guys to shake it.
I'll shake his hand.
He calls up to the soldier on the gate in that same language, and The soldier calls back down to someone on the other side of the gate, and the gate begins to open. I take it you guys want to enter.
Yeah.
But before you do, the Thulean says, "Yeah, it's just a matter of security. They take it real seriously here. You wouldn't believe it." And no hard feelings. What was your name? Petronius?
That is correct.
Yeah, I'll level with you. That was done to me my first day here.
Huh.
Anyway, as you guys enter, I don't remember what name I gave the guy, but he guides you to the place you need to go. It looks like a very ornamented barracks. And when you get there, he goes in, like it's a double door. He goes in, closes it behind him, and then you hear an announcement. You hear him announce something in that native language here, and within a matter of about 2 minutes, the doors open. You see before you about 24 Varangians, all in armor of various makes and places of origin, carrying various weapons and wearing fancy garb. Standing at the head of all of them, seated on a throne, is a probably about 12-year-old common man. So a boy. And everyone is basically looking at him until you guys enter. In relatively broken Thulean, he calls out something along the lines of, "Kneel." Except he doesn't just say kneel, it's like, "Kneel before me."
I suppose I'll listen.
Yeah, Petronius will just kind of go with what everybody else doing. He'll kneel.
A bard of Balder and another bard, this one of Thor, both enter, and each of them has something burning in a censer, and they wave it around. You guys all get like a face full of incense, and the princely-looking figure on the throne stands up and draws his sword and knights all three of you, basically. Well, not knighting, but basically that motion. He also does this with Vornir. He says, "Stand."
I stand.
He sort of sizes up each one of you and says, "You've made it this far. That was your test. You came here for gold, glory, and adventure, and you shall have it. Tell me, each of you, what is your greatest strength in this life?" And he gestures first to Petronius.
He kind of clears his throat and he says, I am a I am an ex-bard of Freyr, and I combine that with my imposing stature. I have found myself to be very persuasive.
And tell me, furthermore, what is the greatest joy in all of life? He gestures again to Petronius.
He kind of pauses and he says, to live a life of honor.
He nods. He gestures to Odricles. What is your greatest strength in this life?
I would say it is my deadly aim.
And what is the greatest of all joys?
As my friend here said, to live an honorable life.
And finally, he turns to Anso. What is your greatest strength in this life?
Anzo will he'll say, I can out-eat and out-fight just about anyone.
For the first time, the lordling smiles. And then he says, holding up his fist, he says, and what is the greatest of all joys?
He's going to kind of go along with the theme and say to live an honorable life and to enjoy it while you do so. And be true to the ones around you.
Gentlemen, whom I hope to one day call friends, today I call you Varangians, sword brothers. You will fight and you will risk death for your Vasilevs. Vasilevs, you may have... Actually, everyone roll me world lore.
Zero.
Oh, gosh.
13.
You're looking for an 8, by the way.
13.
Success.
I rolled a 10, but with my mods, it's a 6.
All right, so Petronius succeeded, and I'll say being a bard, Vornir would know this as well. Vasilevs is what the Mikhailans call their ruler. It means king. I'll type it out in the chat, actually. Well, I'll type it out anglicized, anyway. There we go. So, he continues. As good men possessing the Varangian spirit, I shall assign to you your first mission. There is a fortress which was until recently derelict. By recently, I mean about a year and a half ago. It lies 75 miles east of here. The men have reported their commander to be perpetrating abuses of corruption, graft, and decadence. The fortress, whose fortifications he was in charge of overseeing the repair of, continue to crumble. Relieve him of his command in whatever way you see fit.
Petronius will, you know, kind of like tap the handle of his Dane axe on the floor, and he will say, "Yes, my king."
I'm not the king, I'm his son. But you do take orders from him, ostensibly. Anyhow, I should let you know one more thing. And so a servant hustles over with four of these golden plates, basically. Circular plates, probably about the size of your hand. And on each of them is inscribed something in a language you don't recognize, probably the local one. And there is above that a blank space. He gives each of you one of these plates and says, have those when you come back. You will learn why.
Yeah, Petronius will just kind of take the plate, the plate. He'll kind of look it over, and he'll nod in he'll just kind of nod, not really quite understanding, what, like, the importance of it.
All right.
Yeah, Anzo will probably take the plate too. Is it like a wood, or is it like
It
a
is
metal?
solid gold.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
In
yeah,
fact,
he
you
will,
reckon you reckon it's probably about like half a pound.
So yeah, that's worth quite a bit. Okay. Yeah, Q will take it graciously and thank him for it.
As will Adricles.
Everyone in the room basically starts filing out, including the prince. And as this is happening, you sort of get the feeling you should probably get going. So what does everyone want to do?
I think before we head out on this first mission, we ought to stock up on some rations and such, and then get moving.
Yeah, we'll talk to the guy who kind of, I guess, swore us in, or the guy who's kind of mainly overseeing us. I have the name Sverker Sevson or Seveson on there, so I'm not sure if that's him, but
Oh, Sverker Severson?
Severson. That must be it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
So we'll ask him specific directions, if there's any like shortcuts or any like geographical things that we should be aware of that are problematic, and like how much food we should probably take.
So he sits you guys down at a bench. Like he walks with you guys somewhere else in the palace complex. It's basically like a mess hall, and sits you guys down at a bench and pulls a big sayax out of his belt and just starts carving into the table. Starts carving numbers, like an equation, basically. And he says, so you can travel on average, and let's be conservative about it, 2 miles an hour. You can travel conservatively 6 hours a day, 12 miles a day, and this is basically the minimum. 75 miles. I was never good at math. I believe it would be... Okay, now real life me is struggling with this.
Should just be over,
Like
like
6
just over
days,
6
I
days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how long was it again?
So about a week's worth of food.
So it's
No, it's about 6 or 7 days, I think.
okay. Yeah, Petronius will want to stock up on rations and, of course, booze.
All right. You can go ahead and make those purchases
Okay.
and let me know when you are ready to go.
Are day rations, as in the field rations, are those just a copper each, or are they silver?
They are, I think, 12 copper. I think it's actually cheaper to just buy like the actual food items.
Yeah, I think the food probably lasts. I mean, it depends on you with the heat for Mythmaster if you want to say that food spoils faster out here, but I think it's probably about 5 days or so. Or no, field ration is good for 28 days, so it's up to you. We could probably buy a couple loaves of bread and some meat and get most of the way, maybe like a field ration each just for like the last day, just to make sure nothing spoils.
I'm all good to go.
Yeah, it should be good to go too. I was just looking through to see if we wanted to buy something exotic like a horse or something like that, like a pack horse, but that's might be more worth, like more problems trying to look after it and this, that, and the other. So I think we're good to go. We might be faster on foot.
All right. Is Petronius ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right. So, as you guys leave the city, standing before you to the east is fertile plains that eventually give way to arid dry lands. Roll navigation, I guess. That'd be Audricles doing that, since I would assume he's probably got the highest, being a ranger.
Yep, on it.
I'll also say it's probably about 1 p.m. at this point.
I rolled a 16 for navigation.
All right. So that's going to be, I think that's plus 0 miles per hour for that hour anyway. Do you want to check the travel section and tell me how many miles per hour you're going?
Sure.
And, 'Cause- And so you're not going to be on road. 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 So you're not going to be Well, actually, you probably will be on road for the first bit of it. So first, probably like 25 miles.
Yeah, if we're on roads, then we're traveling 4 miles an hour.
All right. Now, do you guys want an encounter, or do you not want an encounter? Because we're going to have to roll to see if you encounter something anyway, but just to refresh everyone's memories, when we do that, we either subtract one add one if the party does not want to encounter anything, or I think subtract one if they do. At least that's how I remember it.
I wouldn't mind an encounter, personally.
Yeah, I
I'm
wouldn't
good either
mind. Also keep in mind for the future reference, if we're trying to be careful, that also means we're going to move, I think, a mile per hour slower.
It does?
Or actually, yeah, in the travel section, if you are
Oh, if
sneaking
you're
or
sneaking.
tracking, then you travel 2 miles an hour no matter what.
Yeah. So you guys want to subtract the highest tracking from the 3d6. So, Audriclease, if you would like to roll me 3d6 and subtract your tracking. I'm
Gotcha.
sorry.
7.
7. Contact is achieved. I have special encounters written up just for Michaelis. So, you guys see, even though it's early afternoon, there's this great cook fire, or not cook fire, but like a bonfire burning in the distance. And as you draw closer on the road, you eventually see there's a company of about 60 Imperial soldiers encamped at the roadside, sparring, drinking, eating, playing card games, talking, that kind of thing. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but we've got a job to do, and I think we ought to just, say hello and then move on.
So these are
Yeah.
not Thuleans.
They are not.
Okay, so seeing as none of us speak the local language, we'd probably and if they don't seem hostile, we'll probably just try and keep on walking, as assuming that they don't try and attack us.
As you guys walk past, they all stand up from what they're doing and render salutes.
Is this different from the Thulean salute?
I would say it is probably more like a wave. So, like maybe a higher arm. Like a Thulean salute is a bent arm. Theirs is like just straight up in the air.
Petronius will basically kind of mirror what they're doing.
Yeah, I think Hanzo will as well, and they should have no problem seeing the two of us. Definitely.
All right. As you pass them by, you do notice. Actually, make me perception.
Oh, that's a natural one for me.
5.
I rolled an 18.
So Anso notices some of them are wounded.
He won't immediately say anything, but as we're getting farther from camp, he'll point out that some of those guys weren't looking so well. Definitely quite a bit of bandages and sad-looking faces in that group is what he's mentioning.
All right. I assume you guys want to keep moving.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. If you'd like to roll navigation, then.
Sorry. Go ahead.
On it. 18.
All right. Then that's going to be 4 miles an hour again. So you are 8 miles in, and roll me 3d6. And then, do you guys want an encounter?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Add your tracking.
Let's see.
Just wondering
9.
what kind of
Subtract your
day?
tracking. I keep mixing that up.
Yeah, 9.
9. Contact is achieved. Specifically, you see another one of these bonfires. This one is bigger, but there's less figures huddled around it, and it's further from the roadside. It's more like off in a cluster of palm trees, in the middle of a clearing in a cluster of palm trees. You guys are, by the way, walking like at this point by a beach. Anyway, the figures, as you get closer, you notice that they are orcs, common orcs. And they are also all wounded. Well, so the soldiers were not all wounded, some of them were. These orcs, all of them are.
All right. So I think we know why those soldiers back there were wounded. At least that's what I would assume. How many orcs are there? Or is there a rough estimate?
Probably about 10.
Okay. Well, we certainly should just leave them alone. They'll overpower us no matter how wounded they are.
Yeah, I don't like that. Those numbers are pretty bad. Even with the 4 of us against 10, that's pretty rough numbers. Have they noticed us at all, or are we far enough away that we could probably sneak by them?
They haven't noticed you yet. And in fact, you can barely see them yourselves. So you could probably get by.
Yeah, because I'm kind of picturing this, like you said, we're on like a sandy beachy area. They're kind of in like an oasis or like a little scraggly bluff kind of area. So I think we could probably, if there's any kind of like hills or any kind of sand dunes, we can probably like sneak by, or any rocky areas.
All right. Everyone can roll me stealth. You're looking for an 8.
22.
14.
Looks like everyone succeeded.
Yeah, that's a 12 altogether.
You guys are able to slip past this gathering. Audricles, you can roll me navigation again.
on it. 6.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let me look here. That's going to be 1 mile an hour. So you guys kind of walk in circles for a little bit. You're on the. By the time you guys have gotten your bearings again, because you kind of went off course to avoid the orcs, and by the time you've gotten your bearings again, you've only gone about a mile.
So you said we've basically gone around in a circle.
Well, so it says -3 miles per hour walks in circles on the table when you roll a 6.
Okay, so it's assumed we basically just kind of bumble around a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there any like landmarks, or is it just basically a desert?
It's not a desert. It's sort of patches of those little oases in in dry lands and floodplains.
Gotcha.
There's farms you occasionally pass, ranches, that kind of thing. But by the time you guys have gotten your bearings again, you haven't gone too far. Roll me 3d6, Audricles.
Gotcha.
And are you looking for an encounter?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. Subtract the tracking. And I know I got it right that time.
8.
There is indeed contact. So let me set the scene here. Where is that table I'm looking for? Who wants to roll me a D100?
D100.
Yep.
58.
58. All right, so eventually you guys come across a flooded stretch of plain. And you can either go around it, or you can, like, going around this would entail adding a lot of, like, several hundred yards onto your journey. Or you can sort of ford through it.
I think just tactically speaking, we should probably go around. Because if someone comes at us and we're in the middle of that, it's not going to be a good time.
Yeah, I had a different thought, but I'm also thinking let's go around. Is this like standing water in there, or is this?
It is salt water.
Okay. Can we see through it? Like, is it fairly transparent, or is it pretty murky?
You can see the bottom. It's no worse than the water in Thule.
Okay, so it's not like boggy though. It's just standing water. How deep is it? Like 2 feet, 3 feet?
For Audricles, who is the shortest of the three of you, it is waist deep. For the rest of you, not so much. Ilgar would struggle a little bit, but he wouldn't complain because he has a bit of an ego.
I'm good either way. Petronius, what do you think?
I'm not
Or should we
necessarily
leave
in
it
the
to-
mood to wade through water.
We could leave it to Audricles. I mean, he is our guide. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should just go around. It's going to take a little longer, but we'll be safer overall.
Now, as you guys are preparing to go around, you do spot something. There is a giant boar drinking from drinking from the floodwaters. Presumably, it needs some salt. As it's doing this, it doesn't appear to see you guys.
Well, we're pretty well stocked up on food. I don't think we need to do any hunting, says Petronius.
Anzo will just nod. I don't think that we need to necessarily go out our way to hunt it unless Algicles feels otherwise.
I think we're set. I mean, I'm set personally, and you two seem fine.
It's a nice hide, but I mean, we can purchase one later. Or when we're hungry, we can just hunt another boar. We'll let him go as long as he's gonna just keep drinking his water there, or drinking whatever salt he can consume.
I will clarify, this isn't any boar. This is a giant boar. This is a pretty dangerous animal.
Yeah, I'm good with letting it just do its thing.
All right, so you're gonna try to pass it by.
Yeah, if that's the way we're going, if that's the easiest way to kind of get around the kind of the water hazard here, we can try and work our way that way.
All right. Who is wearing heavy armor?
I've just got a gambeson, but I do have a small shield. I'm not sure if that matters.
I've got that light elf like scale mail. I don't know if that counts as heavy.
I think it does, but because it's light elf quality and therefore reduced in weight, I'll say. I was going to say if anyone had like really heavy armor, then I would have them check stealth, not to hide, but to try not to make noise that would agitate the beast. But since none of you qualify for having to do that, you are able to that incident.
Perfect. I imagine it's about midday now. It's starting to get pretty hot. Like, is it above 25 degrees, or like, I guess, let me look that up in American.
It is, I think, 26 degrees by now, and it is about 4 p.m.
Yeah, so it's going to be hotter than 77, basically, for Fahrenheit. I think that does increase how much stamina we're burning, and I imagine water
Yeah. Have you guys been tracking stamina?
we're drinking, but
Yes.
other than that, there's not really.
All right. Whenever you guys want to rest for an hour or longer, let me know.
I'm pretty good unless there's somewhere like really, like if there's a really nice location that's very shaded and has like a little spring in it. But other than that, if it's just kind of a road or wherever path we've been following, I think we can just continue.
So there is this like hillock, or almost like a butte, sort of something between the two, a rock formation that provides some shade and is reasonably close to a pond nearby.
Perfect. Yeah. Did you guys want to stop there, take a rest, and grab some more water?
Sure.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm gonna leave when we rest up to you two, because or at least when we're traveling, because I spend one less stamina per hour while traveling. So I'm gonna be significantly more energized. So just let me know when you guys need to take a break.
What about you, Petronius? How are you doing for stamina points? I think we've been traveling for
3 hours.
3 hours. That's probably about a stamina per. Well, probably
Uh,
2 actually, right?
Per hour. So you've each lost about 6 by my estimation, unless you have something that mitigates it or increases it. So Petronius's
I'm just
arm.
getting to half my stamina, basically.
So Petronius's armor. I don't think you lose stamina because it's light elf quality, but I'm just gonna check.
So we're basically losing 2 stamina per hour, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the heat and everything.
Oh, it doesn't. Never mind. So it reduces the weight by 80%. However, the armor itself is still going to be increasing the traveling stamina cost by 1 per hour.
Okay, so that should bring him to probably like
9.
10. So yeah, we should definitely rest.
Yeah. I got 2 stamina left.
Yeah, and I'm not far away behind. If we get into a serious fight, we don't want to push ourselves too hard. So yeah, we'll take a rest if there's that nice area and it seems convenient. This it's kind of a god's send.
All right. How many hours do you rest for? I'll remind you. So stamina, and I'll also let the audience know if anyone is less familiar with MYFAROG. So stamina recovers at the rate that it was expended. So they just spent 3 hours traveling. So if they spend 1 hour resting, they will regain 1 hour worth of that stamina they lost. And if they spend 3 hours resting, then they'll gain it all back. A lot of math today, it seems like. That's my fault, but
It's up to you. Do we want to rest until we're full on stamina, or do we want to kind of just?
Well, what's the
recover
time
more
of day
quickly?
right now?
That's a good
4
question.
p.m.
And I'm guessing it's probably not like a 24-hour daylight kind of area of the world. It's probably like 18 hours a day, so it should probably get dark at like 9:30. Is that a fair estimation?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have quite a bit of travel time. But then again, do we want to waste most of it resting? That's your call, guys. If we wait till night, we're not going to be in as much heat. So if we travel at night, it will actually be easier on our stamina. But again, it's your call.
I think maybe just for now, I mean, it is only 4, and if we rest until everyone's back to full, it'll only be 7, and then we'll still have 2 hours to go. So I don't see why not just, resting up fully, then going, and then when night falls, we can make our decision there.
Perfect. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So we'll take some time to rest, and probably about 7 o'clock, if there's no interruptions, is when we'll pick up.
Yeah. So
All right.
that sounds good. So we're just gonna rest until we've got all of our stamina back, essentially.
All right. In that. Oh, while we're at it, so I'll have. I think it'll be what kind of role is it? Like foraging to try to find shelter? Just to see if you guys can construct a little shelter that will keep you safe. It's
Find
in the
shelter.
traveling.
It's tracking.
Tracking.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so I guess if we're making a tracking roll, Audricles is probably your best person to kind of find the best area to kind of set up. But again, if you want any of us to make it, we're welcome to do that.
It'll be Audricles, yeah, because he's the best at it, and the dice difficulty is just 6.
All right. Well, I think I'm good because I rolled a natural 20 for a total of 22.
All right. Critical success. The shelter is able to keep the party dry, warm, hidden, and safe.
Well,
So no encounter in the next 3 hours.
Well, we shouldn't have to worry about keeping warm necessarily.
Yeah.
I think more so in this situation, it's like it's got nice shade and it's got a fairly cool breeze, and we can kind of cool down a bit. I think Anzo and Vornir are probably just gonna, if there's any rocks, we're just gonna start kind of doodling and writing some like maybe writing our names in Thulean with some of my black body paint there, just to kind of kill some time and have some fun.
There's a pond. You could kind of splash around in there.
Is it fresh
Yep.
water?
It is fresh water.
All right, so I'll probably refill my water skin out of that, and then I'll probably just make note of like the orcs that we saw. Is just like I see that the orcs have made their way down these ways this way too. In kind of a condescending kind of way, or it's not being very thrilled about that.
Yeah, Anzo is gonna kind of nod in agreement, and he's gonna tell Vornir to draw an orc on the wall as well. So we're gonna try and point it like a little warning that there's orcs in the area and to be aware. With whatever little body paint we have as well, and if there's rocks, we're just gonna kind of doodle them up with Thulean writing. But yeah, I'll also fill up my water skin with some water and probably cool down in the water.
All right. So after about 3 passed, do you guys want to head out again?
Yeah, let's go.
Yep. Once it's 7 o'clock, we'll probably gather things up and be well rested to make our way out.
Navigation, if you please.
Yes, sir. 5.
5.
Yep.
That is again going to be -3 miles an hour. So again, you guys, I'll say it's probably there's a little reluctance to head out because it's such a nice spot, and then you leave a little later than you wanted to, and then nobody took any bathroom breaks while they were resting, so you got to do that on the way. And not to mention, nobody is really sure where you guys are going, so
I imagine it's also like we've also like dropped something back at the thing, so we had like walk back to the spot and
yeah.
gather on it.
So you guys are 10 out of 75 miles towards the fortress. And
it's 10 o'clock at night, just getting dark, I believe.
No, it is 8. It is 8 o'clock.
Okay, yeah.
So who wants to roll me 3d6 and tell me whether or not they want an encounter? It's been Audricles all these times, so I'll mix it.
I'll do it.
And do you want an encounter or not?
Yeah, sure. That is a... That's a 16.
Minus Audricles' tracking, that'd be 14, I think. Either way, though, that contact is not achieved.
Okay, so it's just kind of a this just mostly peaceful.
Yeah.
This is probably helping himself to some of like he picked out some meat like from the markets, probably some local game or some cattle or something. Just out of I can't remember off the top of my head like what kind of like local game would probably be in this sort of area. If like off the top of your head you would know.
Probably antelope. Sort of. I'm thinking this would be an environment similar to like Anatolia, and I don't know much about the wildlife of that region.
There's definitely boar. I mean, we've
Yeah.
had those.
Yeah, he's probably eating like some pork, and they probably like spiced it in like the I guess the probably traditional manner for the region, so it probably has a very exotic taste to him, but it would be kind of normal, like for the locals.
Yeah. I just found something. So it's not really game, but one of the cool animals that is in the Anatolian wildlife diaspora is the caracal, or the floppa, if you prefer the internet term.
Yeah,
I just
that's
thought you guys would find that interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a like really cool Pakistani lynx.
Well, so they're native to like a huge area of land, like everywhere from South Africa to Morocco to Turkey to Central Asia. Like, it's crazy.
That's pretty cool, actually. So yeah, it looks like there's mostly deer. There's like jaguars. There's even like Mediterranean seals, which is kind of interesting. There's like vultures, and then there's like all kinds of different like Turkish birds kind of deal. So there's game birds, there's deer, which is neat. There's a lot more than I thought there was. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. Well, viewers, don't say you never learned anything watching us.
That's true. Yeah, so I guess probably dinner by now. Petronius is having his little meal, so Anzel's going to get hungry as well and pull out a little bit of food. Are we still traveling, or are we going to start? Because it's, what, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock now?
8 o'clock, yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing we're continuing on, right?
We could probably.
That's you guys' decision.
I'm probably just kind of eating it as we walk, if we're assuming we're walking, and he's probably gonna kind of after he kind of as he's eating, he's probably gonna notice. He's probably gonna say something like, "These people season their meat very strangely around here."
Is it fennel root, or is it some other god-forsaken spice? Anzel's gonna say.
I don't know for certain, but it's definitely not just salt that they cure their meat in. He's gonna bite off the last bit of like meat off of the bone and just kind of like toss it aside.
Anzel's been eating the bread the whole time, and it's got more of like a flat bread, which is kind of unique to Anzo. He hasn't really seen that before, or at least his style. So he's rather enjoying it. He's gonna say maybe you should stick to the bread. It's fairly good.
Yeah, he Yeah, Petronius picked up a little bit of bread, and it's probably just like pita bread, so it's kind of flat.
Yeah.
So he's like, the bread here is also very strange.
I think at this point in the journey, Anzo's going to pull out one of those bottles of mead that he very stealthily procured, and he's going to pull it out. And he's like, I wonder if a little taste of home might help things go a little bit smoother. And he's going to hand it over to Petronius.
Yeah. He agrees. He's not quite homesick just yet. He would probably be a bit homesick. They've been away from home for a month and a few days, so he would definitely like something that would bring him back to something a little more familiar.
All right.
Anzo's going to continue walking on while we're eating, and he's going to look over at Vornir, who's been, just pleasantly enjoying the trip and just being a great guy about it. So he's going to kind of think to himself that he's in the best company with the four of us traveling onwards in this foreign land. So, being so far away with a little bit of taste of home is reassuring to Anzo.
The meat itself, it's the little notes of honey in it come on much more strongly after so long without having tasted any good Thulean mead. So it really is a sentimental sort of flavor.
I imagine we'll continue on, but Anzo's gonna chuckle about how it tastes so familiar, but it's still such a different taste in this heat of this foreign land. But
yeah, so
he's gonna continue on and follow the road.
All right. So how far are we gonna travel till it's we decide to set down for the night? Do we suppose?
I think, how about, what I was thinking is once it gets dark, we can decide if we want to do just one more hour after that, or if we want to sit down for the night. Yeah, because right now it's 8. If we travel for another hour, it's going to be 9, and that's just around sundown. So at that point, I think we should make our decision.
I mean, if we see anywhere that is a great campsite on the way, we could stop there. But I agree with that plan. If we can, we should push as far as we can. Unless Petronius definitely.
Yeah, I think we should. We've already lost some time, bumbling around. I'd say try to make as much progress as we can before we settle down.
All right.
We're not even halfway there yet. I mean, it is going to take a week for us to get there, right?
Yeah, I think we'll probably play out the first maybe half of it, and then from there on out we'll just kind of fast travel it. I think it's important in a game like MYFAROG that up to a point we get the sensation of really the grueling slog of travel.
I agree.
But not too much of it, otherwise it gets boring.
Yeah, we don't want to play out a million sessions of it, but I agree that we can't just fast travel and just be there. So I'm kind of liking this. We're definitely making our way,
Yeah.
and we've also kind of scouted out some orcs, which is good information to know.
Yeah.
So, as you guys make your way forward, I'll have Audricles roll navigation again.
Natural 20, total of 23.
Total of 23. That's going to be, I think that's plus 1 mile an hour, but I want to check.
I think it was 24 to be plus 1, but
Well, that's
Yeah.
lame. We're going to say it's plus 1 anyway. No offense, Varg, if you're watching, but I do think if you get a roll at 23, especially, what level are you?
level 4.
Especially like not even at that high of a level, like you can find a shortcut, you know. So that's going to be 5 miles. So you guys are up to 15. And then do you want an encounter?
How are you guys feeling in terms of stamina?
It doesn't matter to me.
I'm getting pretty well. No, it's good either way. If we have one, we have one.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm pretty sure. I would absolutely be shocked if Varg is actually watching this.
I know we joked about that last time.
If he is, he made an amazing game. And,
Yeah.
If anyone else is watching, they should pick up a hard copy of the new MYFAROG. So
Yeah, I'm really it might just be a Yule present to myself or something.
I'm thinking about doing the same. I haven't ordered it yet, but I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. So,
But just imagine that like
anyway, back to the game. Sorry, did we? Sorry, go ahead.
Do you want to roll that, Audricles?
Yes. 8.
Contact is achieved. So I had like 5 daytime encounters written up. You guys have blown through like almost all of them, so I'm actually going to roll on the tables that I made. All right. Well, first I'm going to roll a D100 to determine the location. What's funny is I haven't made like a single die roll this whole time. I've just outsourced it all to you guys. I find that funny anyway.
That's all right. It's nice to roll dice.
It is, yeah. All right. Encounter location is going to be actually, so there's this, you've never seen anything like it. It is a cemetery. But so in Thule, there are burial mounds. There's not cemeteries. So what do you guys initially think you're looking at before I even like roll to see what's there?
So are we so I'm assuming like we're just seeing like stones like just sticking out of the ground.
Yeah.
So I probably think it's like some sort of like weird I don't know, like probably like a Stonehenge sort of thing, like it's supposed to be like some sort of temple or some sort of like place of worship or something. Or at least that's what it would resemble to me.
Yeah, Anza's going to be thinking out loud if this is some sort of weird religious kind of placed stones, or if this was perhaps an old ruin that had collapsed and now these stones are just here. But he's going to remark how odd it is that they're rather neatly arranged.
So as you guys are looking this over, a little bit down the road, there is what appears to be a merchant with like a train of mules and about 5 bodyguards, and he's just hauling goods down the road, and then all of a sudden arrows start flying from this like little outcropping of rock, and his bodyguards start going down, and he runs, and the bodyguards that survive start running as well. What do you guys want to do? This is, I'll mention, about 50 to 100 yards in front of you guys on the road.
So are the arrows coming from the cemetery?
No, it's like a rock outcropping.
Oh, okay. So you said like we're at most 100 yards away. Is that what you said?
Yeah, at most.
And how far away is this merchant?
About the same distance.
Okay. So
I suppose we could try and help.
these might. Yeah. I assume that these are some bandits trying to. This is very obviously like a wealthy merchant, considering he's got bodyguards. So he's assuming that these are just like some bandits. So he's gonna start making his way towards the rocks.
All right. Everyone can actually roll me an initiative.
That's 10 for Petronius.
That's 7 for Onzo, and that's 8 for Ajocles.
Initiative is Petronius. And then, well, actually, I can't tell you the full thing because you don't know how many enemies there are. So I will content myself to just writing it down.
Gotcha.
Wait, so just a sec. Who had the 9? Who had the 8?
8 for Adrocles.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
8 for Ajocles. I had a 7, and I think if there was a 9, it would have been Petronius, but you can correct me.
Oh, no. Petronius had a 10. Oh, that's right. I got you now. I got you.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. So Petronius is up to bat first. I'll say by the time that I've had you roll initiative, you are within about 30 feet of the rock outcropping, and I'm going to have you make me perception.
Perception. 17.
Oh, by the way, so when you rolled your initiative, did you add your size?
Oh, I forgot to do that actually. So
Oh, that's good you forgot
it would be
because
13.
no, so you only do that if you're in melee. I'm I'm sorry if I get to be a stickler about it. It's more just so that like when I'm running, I actually remember these things, and yeah. So,
Rules correct. So yeah,
and I should have asked that earlier when we were actually rolling initiatives, because that way I can make sure everyone got the right one. But yeah.
no worries. Just to clarify, I included a range because I have my javelin that I'm intending to use. So that's why.
Okay.
Yep.
So Petronius, what did you get on your perception?
17.
17. You were able to see 3 assailants, all in dark clothing. They appear to be common men. They have hoods up, and they're cowled. They have long self bows. So what would you like to do?
I'm going to charge at them.
All right. So they're, like I said, they're behind this rock outcropping, so you don't necessarily have a straight charge. So what you can do is you can either not charge and instead just go at them in a circuitous way, or you can charge, but I'll have you make acrobatics to not fall over when you're climbing over the rocks.
Let's see. Well, I'm going to take the risk because acrobatics is a character roll for me.
All right.
Do you want me to roll for that?
Parkour.
Yep.
Okay, acrobatics. $17.
You're good. You can roll to hit.
Okay. That's a 5, so that doesn't do shit.
Unfortunately, it does not. Did you add the charge bonus? Which is only +2, so it still wouldn't do anything, but just making sure.
Yeah, I didn't, so I'll remember that for next round, or the next time I do a charge, maybe. So, alright, so charge, like jump over a bunch of rocks, and it's all for nothing.
Well, one thing I like about this system is it specifies when you miss with your attack, it's not that your professional warrior is whiffing like a dumbass. It's that you just aren't able to do any damage. So you hit them on the armor, which they're all wearing like probably just a sec. So they're wearing helmets and gambesons, and they have shields. Well, actually, they wouldn't have the shields out, but you get my point.
Yeah.
So they are they're adept at defending themselves, is what I'm getting at.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that'll bring us to then the first one, the one you charged actually, and he is going to drop his bow and draw a short sword.
Okay.
And he is going to attempt to stab you.
Okay.
He rolls very poorly. Just 7 to hit. I imagine that doesn't do anything.
Nope.
Your DV is reduced by like 1 because of the charge, but still, it doesn't do anything. That'll bring us to Audricles. You are probably 30, 35 feet away from these guys.
All right.
And if you want to shoot, you can either move a bit and then shoot, or you'll have to deal with them having like half cover.
I'll move first and then take my shot.
All right.
And I'm going to aim for one of the guys who's still armed with a bow.
All right.
Natural 20 again, total of 24.
24. Oh, wow. That's going to be... I just want to make sure I get this correct. Damage plus 8.
$15 damage.
And roll me cut and shock. Arrow goes straight into one of these guys and just tears into him.
All right, for cut, that is 2.
Oh boy.
And then for shock, that's not going to be anything. I rolled 14. Actually, maybe it will be. Oh, no, it's not anything. Never mind. It's 10 total.
All right. If you had rolled just a little lower on cut, that would have been serious bleeding, and he'd be bleeding out. But as it stands, he's still alive and well. Well, not well at all, but you get what I'm saying. And then that brings us actually to the guy you just shot. And he is going to fire back at you. Scoring a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that's my DV for missile is 12, so that'll be damage plus 10.
Yep. And a long self-bow is D6 plus strength, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the first time I'm taking damage. Woohoo.
14 damage.
All right.
How are you looking?
I am at 8 hit points.
Oh, that's better than I expected. I thought you were gonna be. I thought you were gonna be pretty close to death. Let's get cut and shock on that. Cut is gonna be 1, so you are gonna have serious bleeding.
Oh man.
And then your shot, and then so your size is +1, right?
Plus 2.
+2, okay. Shock, you're looking at. You're also knocked down, and you cannot attack for 1 round. You can only get up, basically. You can't really do anything else.
Gotcha.
Man, that was 2 very brutal attacks right there. You shooting him and then shooting back. Everyone's got pretty high health though, so that'll bring us to Anso.
All right, so I'm guessing, seeing all this, Anzo's gonna walk or charge up towards the this rocky outcrop. That is Audricles there, or is he?
He's like 30, 35 feet away, firing with his bow.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna run towards there, and I'm gonna try and block the line of sight of people shooting at Audricles if possible, and I'm gonna yell at Vornir to try and deal with that, and by that I mean trying to heal Audricles, because that would be great right now. Am I close enough to throw a javelin, which would be 25 feet?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, I will do that, I guess.
Roll it. And then is that on the one that Petronius is fighting? Is that on the one that Adricles shot?
Yeah, I guess it would be anyone that I can see that's not in direct contact with Petronius, because I don't want to try and getting him right now. That would not be great. 17 to hit.
17. That's going to be damage as is.
All right. Javelin is a d6. One damage, so I just nicked him.
Did you add your strength?
I did not. Or should that be dexterity?
No, that would be strength. I think you had strength anyway. Let me check that.
Missile's dexterity based, so melee would be strength. But I mean, it's up to you.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Most weapons.
I'm gonna make sure though.
Yeah, no worries. Page 60. Oops, that wouldn't.
I found it.
Better go to missile here, because most of the time it would say plus strength.
Oh, it doesn't. Never mind. So it is just D6.
Correct. Yeah.
Huh.
Want to make sure I'm getting it right. Yeah. So I just managed to just pierce his armor, I guess.
If I were you, I would invest in light javelins and a spear sling.
That would also be a good idea.
Or just regular spears, actually. Huh. Because those do 1d8 plus 1, which is pretty good. Anyway, so 1 damage, and then can you roll me cut and shock?
But, I mean, yeah, absolutely. That's an 8, which is not going to be much. And that's a 9. I don't think there might be modifiers on that, actually. -1. So that would be a 7 and a 10.
7 and a 10. All right, so he's got light bleeding, and he is actually going to bleed to death.
Nice. And if I do have any movement, I'll, again, try and block any kind of direct line of sight towards shooting Adricles as I try and block it with my massive body.
All right. After Unso is going to be the last one, who is uninjured and nobody has attacked yet. And he is going to line up a shot on Unso. 15 to hit. And that's missile, not melee.
That would hit, because I believe with my shield it's a 13. 13
okay.
For M. Yep.
So that'd be damage as is?
Correct.
Just 5 damage.
Okay.
And then for cut, it's going to be light bleeding. Shock is not going to be anything.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Top of the round. Everyone can roll me initiative again.
Again.
7 for Adricles.
I rolled 13. That's with my weapon mod and my size. If I'm using that correctly. Yeah.
And I rolled a 9 altogether.
What did Adricles get?
7.
Okay. So, Petronius, you're up first.
Alright, I'm probably going to take another swing at this guy. Now that he pulled out his sword, probably take another swing at him. Let's see. That is... Yeah, that's a 9. So again, that doesn't do anything.
That's unfortunate. Do you want to do Power of Will if you have positive willpower?
I have just +1 positive willpower. So I guess I can do that. So what is that, re-roll again?
Yeah. I'm just asking if you want to do it, because in your situation, I definitely would, because I'd be like, dang it, I still haven't hit anything, you know?
Yeah, I'll do it. Sure, why not? 22.
There we go. So exceeding it by 7, that's going to be damage +4.
Damage +4. Six damage.
6 damage, and then you can roll me Cut and Shock.
That's an 8 for cut.
8. Is that with mods?
Let me see. Cut. Oh, I missed my weapon mod. That would be a 7.
Light bleeding.
And for shock, that's a 9, so that does nothing.
All right. Unso's turn.
Okay, I will pull out my spear. And how close is the one person who hasn't been touched?
About as close as the others. So he's probably like 30 feet away from you.
Is he right by the caravan? I'm assuming.
No, he's with the other one in the rock outcropping.
Ah, I see. I'm close enough to charge him then, eh?
I suppose you are. Like Petronius, you're gonna have to make acrobatics to try not to fall.
This is going to be interesting, but I have it as a character roll, so I will also do so as best I can. We will see how this goes. $14.
14, you're able to get over there just fine. Roll to hit, and you get +2 because of charging.
Perfect. So +2. Actually, that's not that great. 9 to hit.
9 to hit, and this is the one with the bow out, right?
Correct. Yes.
So I do believe that actually gives them a penalty to their DV. So
Yeah,
I'm just gonna real quick make sure that I know whether or not this hits.
No worries. I appreciate that.
Oh,
Yeah,
-5
always
to his DV. So
Ooh.
you're actually going to do damage halved.
Beautiful. Let me just triple check the bow or the spear damage. It's a D8 +1. Three damage.
3 damage?
Correct, yeah.
All right. And you can give me cut and shock whenever you're ready.
Absolutely. one. Actually, it'd be minus another one. It's still nothing. That's a 10 altogether, really. And that's an 8, actually. So that's not a shock either. I don't believe.
It's not, yeah. So that'll be Audricles. So you are knocked down.
Yeah, I guess I get up. And hopefully nothing else gets me down. But I should be
What
good.
you could do is you're probably so given the fact that given the fact that both of the surviving assailants are in melee, you are probably safe standing up.
Yep.
Yeah, so congratulations on having a lot of health, though. Like, I seriously did think, oh shoot, he might die from that shot. So I'm actually going to say Vornir rushes over and makes a healing check on you. I believe he has +4? +5?
I think it's probably going to be +5.
Yeah. So that's going to be 23 to heal you. That's going to take D6 minutes, but he's just going to start it now. Let's see, where's healing? There it is. So that's 8 health healed, and the bleeding is all gone, but that won't start kicking in. So, actually, here's the thing. Do you want to let him heal you right now, or do you want him to wait until the end of combat?
Will I be able to do anything while he's healing me, or am I going to be incapacitated?
Not necessarily incapacitated, but you're not going to be able to do much.
I would. This is metagaming. This is metagaming, but I would say we don't know how long this is gonna take, and he's got a serious bleeding, so there's a possibility he could bleed out if for some reason
This isn't metagaming either. Like, so if we were to be metagaming, we could say he has 8 health, he has serious bleeding. So technically it'll be 6 rounds, and then 6 rounds before it goes to medium bleeding, and then it'll be 2 minutes before he dies. That would be metagaming.
I think it's probably serious enough that Vornir probably would say, like, hold still, I'm healing you, rather than be like, hey, you know what you should do is go shoot off some more arrows, and then, you know, if he's bleeding everywhere, he should probably get the attention now.
Yeah, I think I'll lay low for now. I got hit pretty hard.
Yeah. And you gave as good as you got, honestly.
I did.
I was reminded yesterday of the time you shot Sven.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I hope that doesn't happen again.
Well, Sven isn't here, so it'll be Anso this time.
Yeah.
I'm calling it.
That's okay, I'm so big, it's like hitting the broadside of a barn, it's not that hard.
Anyway, so that's your turn. The one who is in melee with Anso is going to draw a short sword and make an attack. Does a 24 hit? They are rolling majestically today.
Who's he hitting?
Anso.
Okay.
Sorry, what was the, you just cut out for just a second there.
Okay, so I imagine a 24 hits. Your DVNE is 15, right?
Yeah, that definitely hits.
So that's going to be, damage plus 8. You ready for this?
Yep.
That's going to be 13 damage.
Okay. I am still alive, but that's quite a bit of health lost.
What are you at?
I have 29 health, and I just took 18 damage total. So that's 11. No, I can't do math.
Cut is
Yeah.
going to be.
I can't do math.
Oh
That is 11.
boy. And that's something you never want to hear me say when I'm rolling cut. Oh boy.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So, cast a d12. If the result is greater than the target's
I
size,
can do this.
instant death.
Come on.
D12.
Yep. I'll
I'm
have
gonna
you do. Actually, just so that we know,
I'm gonna
that. Let me turn on my camera, and I am going to film this die because this is an important roll.
Very.
Okay, if you want to kill me with Dice Maiden, you're welcome to as well.
All
If
right.
you don't want to kill me by your hands, I understand.
It is not greater than your size. That's a 4. It's very blurry, so there we go.
That is
Now
a
it's focused in. That's a 4.
Nice dice.
Have serious bleeding. You are not dead.
Okay.
Phew.
Well, that's not great, but that is better news than dying. So
And we haven't even rolled shock yet.
that's okay.
Luckily, you have +8 to that, or no, +6 to that rather. But and that's nothing because of that. So yeah, you're good.
But I
Mostly.
had serious bleed as well. That's okay.
Yeah, you're gonna want to get that looked at. So that'll bring us to the one in melee with Petronius, and he's going to attack Petronius. So I believe an 18 hits.
Yeah, it hits. That beats me by 4.
Beats it by 4. Okay. Damage +1. Max damage, that's 9.
Okay.
Oh man, the one day that all of my minions are rolling well. Oh man. I feel like whenever I'm DMing any game, my minions either roll horribly or very well like this. Cut is going to be medium bleeding.
Medium bleeding.
Shock is going to be nothing. So that's the end of their turns. Everyone can roll me initiative.
8 for act, please.
What was that?
8.
Actually, so since Audriclease isn't going to be doing anything because he's being healed, yeah.
An 11 for Petronius.
That's a 7 for Anzo.
All right. Order is going to be Petronius, Anso, guy number 1, and then guy number 3.
Alright, well, I'm gonna...
Did you add your size, by the way, Anso?
I did, yes. I just rolled
Okay.
1 plus 6, so
Oh,
actually, it should be an 8. I'm not sure if that makes a difference.
it doesn't make a difference because you're going second either way.
No worries. I just keep forgetting about my talents here.
It's a complicated system, I find.
I always have to make notes up by my DBs, but I mean it's useful.
Yeah.
I like it. Just roll this well when you're playing the next game at Gray Skies. That would be amazing.
Yeah. All right, so Petronius, what are you going to do?
Take another swing at the guy, seeing as he just he landed a decent hit on me, so I'm gonna try and hit him back.
Have at it.
And that's a 7, so that does nothing.
Yeah. You're not rolling too good today, I'm afraid. At least not when it counts.
The only time I hit was because I did power of will.
Yeah.
That's okay. I've been rolling pretty poorly as well, so it's not a problem. Whose turn is it? Sorry.
That'll be Unso's turn.
Okay. I guess that's another health lost as well, correct?
What was that?
It's a health loss per turn for a serious bleed, correct?
Yep, once per turn.
Yep. Okay, so I'm probably feeling pretty woozy. I'm guessing this guy kind of slashed Anzo's belly, kind of open, and he's not feeling so hot. But he's gonna probably use whatever adrenaline he has and take another attack. Just that's all he can really do right now. So
Have at it.
that's a 4, really, because I should actually have a -1 to my skills, I believe. So yeah, that doesn't hit.
Oh boy. All right.
Telling you, man. We're not rolling. I got to start rolling physical dice here.
All right. It's gonna be the first guy, the one in melee with Petronius. I'm going to use a different die because I do not want TPK. There we go. A low roll that does not hit. That was an 8 in all.
All right.
And then the one in melee with Onso gets a 13. I assume that that's nothing, but I'm just asking because I know you said you have -1 to all your skills.
13. That still won't hit. No.
Okay. All right. Initiative again, please.
Perfect.
Actually,
One.
honestly, I'm not gonna write down more initiatives because I'm just gonna keep it going in this order to simplify things.
Okay.
No worries. I'm pretty sure we rolled the exact same order.
Yeah.
Petronius in front. Yeah, because I rolled a 12 anyway, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah. You're rolling good initiative at least for all the good that does.
It's the size and the weapon that does it for me.
Yeah. All right. So Petronius, whenever you're ready.
Okay. $15.
Damage as is.
$12 damage.
There we go. He's dead. How would you like to kill him?
I'll probably just wind up and just like give it like a nice I'll get him in the neck, but like it doesn't like completely decapitate him, but enough to like cut off any like yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Just a good blow to the neck to cut off circulation.
Pretty much. And
So yeah, that'll bring us to Anso.
All right, I'm gonna take another attack here. I'm feeling this one. It's gonna do well.
I believe you said you were going to do physical dice.
I lied. I rolled pretty well anyway. So I rolled a 17 plus 2, so that's a 19 altogether.
19 altogether. All right. That's going to be damage plus 2.
I probably have power of will too, which is funny, but that's okay. Let me figure out. It was a D8 plus 1. So that's 4 plus. You said it was. Sorry, did you say it was a plus damage?
Plus 2.
Okay, so that should be 6 damage altogether.
All right. And then give me cut and shock.
So that'll actually be a 6 for cut, because I forgot to include the weapon damage.
All right. Light bleeding.
And that's a 10 for the shock,
Nothing.
which is nothing.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some. So this guy is going to... he's down pretty low, and he is going to actually run. Because, he values his life. And even though it was looking like a real good fight a couple of seconds ago, with his compadre decapitated almost, he's going to turn tail. Does anyone follow?
I do not, but as a free action, if possible, I'll throw a javelin after him.
Go ahead.
At this point, I've actually just dropped to the point where I think I have a -3 to all my skills, so it's not going to be great, but let's see how well I do. With my melee, it's actually a -2. Oh, that didn't roll correctly because I actually threw the wrong character there. Apologies. That's a 9. Which probably doesn't
Well,
hit.
he has his back to you. He's running. He's unarmed. So that is actually going to be damage as is.
Just 1 damage.
We're going to pretend... Well, okay. That's...
There was no shock.
Okay.
Sorry, no. That's funny. If you want to change that for your own dramatic purposes, you're welcome to. But it's up to you.
No. We'll just keep it as he gets a javelin to the back, and then he stumbles a little bit, and he keeps running.
That's fair. It might be better for the storyline that there's one person that made it out. We know
Yeah.
who we are now. We've made a name for ourselves. But Anzo's going to be very hurt, so he's just going to kind of sit down and try and recuperate himself for a second and
Vornir's going to roll healing on you.
make a healing check on himself if possible.
So he gets a 10 on his healing, which I don't think that does anything. Yeah, it literally does nothing. So he's going to try again. And there we go. That's a 19. Healing you by 4 and getting rid of all the bleeding.
That's good. That's the main part, actually. He's making sure you don't bleed.
And then he's also going to heal. And then Zakonis actually is going to heal Petronius, if you let him.
How hurt is Petronius? I imagine he's still bleeding. Or was this to me?
I think I'm still bleeding.
Yeah, I
Oh,
believe you are. So I'll make the roll.
Okay.
Well, as long as you're okay with Zakonis healing you, because he could try to betray you.
Okay, so seeing as like he healed him in the last session, I believe it was the last session, and he did.
I believe so.
And he did pretty well. So maybe he trusts him a little bit more.
4 points of healing, and bleeding is gone.
Okay.
So, I believe that was 5 rounds of combat. Maybe it was just 4. I forget now. No, it was 4. Anyway, it's about 9 o'clock, 9:30. It's getting dark. What's everyone want to do?
I think at this point, maybe we should rest for the night.
What about the merchant?
So the merchant is actually starting to loop back because he ran away and his animals sort of got frightened, but they only ran a short distance, and so he's coming back to his caravan. He notices you guys fought off the bandits, so he's going to come back and thank you guys. Actually, but seeing as you don't share a language, he's just going to hand you just a big handful of gold out of one of actually probably like a couple of trade bars, each being roughly a pound. So probably about 16 ounces of gold for each of you.
16 ounces of gold for each of us.
And he's stammering in his native language, knowing that you can't understand him. He's
We're
very
actually
grateful.
That's a lot of money. I'm gonna try to attempt to like hand gesture or like body language to kind of social skills thank him and trying to.
What are you trying to do?
I guess just thank him more, or like thank him for just the payment and just I guess show like friendly intent. I'm really not trying to gain much. I guess there's no way to find a map or anything. So
You don't have to roll. You just he sees your intention. He shakes your hand and then tries to shake everyone's hand, and after a while he kind of starts helping you guys set up a camp, so you guys are able to get a good shelter going.
perfect. That's a great place for us to, I guess, grab some food and grab some sleep at this point after that long day.
Yeah.
I think we also get 50 XP for that day's worth of travel, so that's great.
So, I think this is probably a good stopping point for the session. I'll let you know, like, for a while there, I was really worried we weren't going to have a combat this session because you guys kept sneaking past things successfully. And then once we actually got one, it's like, be careful what you wish for, because it almost went pretty badly. I'm not going to lie.
It's just how deadly combat can be in, in this game. It can get pretty deadly as real life, so.
Alright, so I'm going to stop the broadcast.